When you are on the go, you need your credit union to be right there with you. Hughes Federal Credit Union makes your life easier. For 60 years, Hughes has called Southern Arizona home and has given back to our community. Isn't that who you want as your financial partner?
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley, here with Greg Hansen. Greg, I have to tell you a story before we get started. Tuesday night, sitting back here at my desk during the Arizona basketball game, I get a phone call. It's from a viewer/reader. His name is Mark, and he lives in Fiji. Fiji.
I've been there.
You've been to Fiji?
On a stop on the way to Australia.
Oh, on the way to the Olympics?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark from Fiji calls. The sole purpose of Mark from Fiji calling is to tell us that he loves the videos, to do more of them.
All right.
So, Mark from Fiji, hello. Secondly, Greg Hansen, let's give the man what he wants here, which is Mike Leach versus Rich Rodriguez, Arizona-Washington State football, Saturday, 1 p.m. Pullman. It is going to be a showdown between two crazy offenses and two coaches who are this close to kind of losing it at this point. Mike Leach is the mad pirate, as usual. Rich Rodriguez, I'm not sure I've ever seen him as frustrated with the team as he is right now. It's going to be something else.
Arizona could have hired Mike Leach 5 years ago.
Yep.
They chose RichRod. And it's funny how things have worked out. Mike Leach is way up here.
Way up here.
Got a shot at the Rose Bowl.
Right.
RichRod does not have a shot at the Rose Bowl.
Right. Yet 2 years ago, RichRod was right here.
Yeah.
Mike Leach was blowing a New Mexico Bowl lead to Colorado State or something. And it's like, it's weird, is they both haven't been good at the same time.
And maybe they never will be. But people confuse them as running the same kind of mad offenses.
No.
Mad's the wrong word, but they're completely different.
Yes.
Washington State has like 47 receivers running these cross patterns, and Arizona runs.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's really interesting when we look at the trends. When Arizona hired Rich Rodriguez, I think that the trend was Mike Leach's offense. I mean, Arizona ran it with Sonny Dykes, you know, this sort of air raid thing. In a way, I thought it was getting a little passé then. Mike Leach is able to have success, and Wazoo's had success, because not a whole lot of people do what he does anymore. Everybody's doing what Rich Rodriguez does.
Right. If you look back at Mike Leach, 10 years in a row, Texas Tech went to a bowl game.
Right.
10 years in a row, Texas Tech. One of the most, can you come up with a better coaching job in college football than that?
You can't buy a beer in Lubbock.
No. Drive to the border.
You can't buy a beer, like let's emphasize this. You cannot buy a beer in Lubbock, and Mike Leach is recruiting not only players to Lubbock, but coaches to Lubbock.
Yeah.
You know any football coaches who could live in a dry county?
Well, if you drive 7 miles, there's like these drive-through lanes where, like, if you order a hamburger at In-N-Out, there you order beer. Not that I've been there.
Not that you've been there or anything like that. But you're right. I mean, Pullman, Washington is Paris, France, compared to Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah. I like Pullman. Every time I've gone there, no matter how cold or rainy, I've liked it.
Yeah, it's great. The drive home stinks, but everything else is good. Let's talk football here for a minute. Luke Falk is
From Logan, Utah.
From Logan, Utah. For a while, Luke Falk was living in Thousand Oaks, California, where he competed with
Second team behind Brandon Dawkins.
Brandon Dawkins. These are two quarterbacks who I think 3-4 years ago, you would have said Dawkins is far away the better player. Falk now has, I mean, he is the premier passer in the Pac-12, and Brandon Dawkins is really struggling to, of all things, pass.
Brandon Dawkins looks to me like he could be a good Olympic decathlete.
Yeah.
But is he a quarterback? Can he pass? So far,
right. And, you know, our Michael Lev watched tape again Sunday and Monday and noted, I think 7 or 8 times where Dawkins had open receivers and decided to tuck the ball. Is that a maturity thing? Or
yes.
Is that okay.
And Josh Rosen stated this after they beat Arizona earlier this year. He talked about his film study and how it had gone from point A to point F.
Right.
And how much he had improved as a quarterback just because of that film study and the time he put in. Brandon Dawkins hasn't had that time just to do the film study.
Right. Arizona beats one team every year, Greg, that they have no business winning or beating. We thought for a while that was going to be last week against Stanford. Arizona comes out and kind of falls flat. Christian McCaffrey looks really good. Arizona can't tackle or score.
What else is there?
Any chance that it's going to be this week up in Pullman?
No. I think Washington State could get 60. Wow. If they're going to beat a team that no one thinks they're going to beat, it would be Colorado a week from now.
Okay.
Because Colorado has a huge game this weekend.
Right.
But is Arizona, maybe this will be the year Arizona doesn't win that game.
Possible.
John Makovic didn't win that game.
That's true. That's why John Makovic's no longer here.
Yeah, and we're tiptoeing into that territory.
Should be an interesting final month of the season. Arizona finishes up with games against Washington State, Oregon State, Arizona State, and Colorado.
They could win the last two.
They could win the last two.
And then our conversations here would be really upbeat.
Until then, try not to get too bummed out and just think somewhere in Fiji, we have a viewer named Mark. He's got the beach just behind him, relaxing, cold drink in his hand. Want to trade places?
I think he works on the militia there at the airport where the security is the most. I've never seen security like that ever.
Okay, real quick, because we have 30 seconds. Drew, do we have 30 seconds? He's nodding yes. Tell me about laying over in Fiji. I got to know.
Well, you know, it's a long flight just from Sydney to Fiji.
Right.
And then a long flight there from LAX. So you got to get off the plane.
Right.
But then you're in a little military type compound. You can't move around. And like 207 people from the plane head right to the bar. And by the time the plane's ready to go, you're not at the front of the line yet.
Were they frozen drinks or was it beer and wine?
Frozen drinks. I remember Vijay Singh being there putting on a golf clinic.
In Fiji. Well, yeah, he's from Fiji.
No, just kidding.
So that was the 96 Olympics.
2000.
Or 2000 Olympics in Sydney.
Yeah.
Wow. Next time, we're going to talk about Greg Hansen's travels because I like your stories about being in Europe with the USA basketball team. I like your stories about the Olympics. If we can make him G-rated, we'll put him on the show.
All right.
All right. That'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.